Science jerks. Science jerks. Science jerks. The rate of change in acceleration of science. Science
Welcome to the
jerks.
Science Jerks. I'm your host, Dave Chacho, and with me, as always, is your host, Robert Chan.
Hi.
And once again, as always, we have a very special guest with us. I know I say that for everybody, but this time it's true. The host of...
We're going to have to go back and tell each of the other guests that they weren't that special.
I'm sure our past guests
They were guests.
aren't listening.
They were guests, and good guests.
They've all been pretty
but not
good.
special, and certainly not very special.
Not as special as
This time, though.
this guest
This
we
time we
have
really
here
mean it.
today.
We seriously mean it.
The host of the cage match at the Upright Citizens Brigade Theater, which is a wonderful improv show to go see on Wednesday nights.
In Los Angeles.
In Los Angeles.
Because if you go to UCB New York on a Wednesday night, you're not going to get that. You'll
There's
be
probably a cage
sorely
match at
disappointed.
UCB New York.
Is it on Wednesday night, and is it hosted by
I don't know these things.
Harrison Brown?
Hello!
Harrison Brown is our guest.
Hello,
Welcome.
everybody.
Also the founder of LA's premier indie improv show, TNT.
Tuesday Night Thunder.
Tuesday Night Thunder on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, so if you have an indie show you want to get up, we got a wait list that has about 200 teams on it, and then we eventually get you up there. No, we're working on that. We get everybody up. So we just recently moved to the Clubhouse.
Yeah, I haven't been
there.
there yet. The new clubhouse over near Santa Monica, right?
Yeah, Santa Monica and El Centro.
If you don't know the geography of Los Angeles, you're not
It's
going to get
kind of
shot
like-
at Santa Monica and El Centro, but you'll feel like you probably would.
And you can pick up a she-mail.
Yeah.
I've never been shot there or picked up a she-mail. As far as,
been picked up by.
as far as I know. How you doing, Harrison?
Oh, I am doing great today. I had the day off of work from my tour guide job today, so that was always great. That's always a good... Whenever you have the day off, that's good, right?
Do you feel like when you're not tour guiding, just driving around and pointing things out to yourself?
Well, you know, today I actually, not to throw out even more LA specifics, but I did go up Topanga Canyon just for the hell of it. I was like, I'm going to drive... Well, I was in Santa Monica, and I had to go to a place up in Topanga Canyon, but I'm like, this is really great, going up Topanga Canyon. I don't get to do that on my
You're
tours.
right. I will see the site of the Manson family reunion.
Manson family reunion?
That's where they reunite every year.
Like, but not the murderer Manson family, like Shirley Manson.
All the-
and
ones-
garbage reunites.
ones that got
once a
away.
year. And sure. I think Squeaky Frome's out now, so she's probably...
Did she get out?
I think so.
It's about
They're
time.
rebanding.
They're getting back together.
Yeah.
Do some Beatles covers,
Yeah.
you know, do the talk show circuit.
Yeah. You know, those are my favorite types of movies, like getting the band back together moments. You know, get the Manson family back.
Sure.
Go out
It's
and
basically
do
like that thing you do, only with knives instead of...
Go out and murder some directors' wives for old time's sake.
Why not?
I was about to throw out the question, what director do you think should be murdered?
Don't mass murder people, please.
I mean, don't mention our name. when you do it.
Don't say that you heard it in a podcast. On that note, let's do some science.
It's science time!
Yeah.
Gastrology.
Believe me, it just got a whole lot easier, folks. Chacho here with Chan and our guest Harrison Brown.
Yo!
And this U.S. firm is offering a new,
Of course it's a
wonderful
U.S. firm before we go
surgery.
anywhere.
Of course. And of course, only people in the U.S. are going to want or need this particular...
Didn't there used to be a stereotype of fat German tourists coming over, taking pictures and wearing Bermuda shorts and just being like that sort of thing, and now it's
like
all Americans?
One summer in the 90s, that stereotype was true. We have far surpassed you, Germany.
And their diet is composed entirely of beer and sausages. It takes some doing to get
Fried
past them.
potato dough.
So let me get this straight. So the story is you can now do what at home?
So they will surgically implant. It only takes a 20-minute surgery, and it's a local anesthetic. They implant a tube that comes out of your stomach with a little stopper on it, and after you eat too much, you open it up.
Oh, God.
And literally...
No, what?
Yes.
No. With
Yes,
your...
this is
like,
happening.
sticks out of your stomach?
Yeah, well, it comes from your stomach, sticks
like
out
a
of your
fucking
side.
maple syrup spigot?
Like a tap, exactly.
Oh, Christ.
Fucking tap your own.
They should be marketing this as how to pick up chicks.
The whole point is to get thinner so that you can get laid. And you're going to go up to a girl like, hey, baby, want to see my fucking vomit spigot?
But think about how much you can get out of the all-you-can-eat buffet. You will get your money's worth and then some.
I want to argue with you, but that's a seriously good point. I'm gonna fucking go to King's Table and ruin them.
Here's the thing. You guys may have actually remembered, I used to be a fat guy, right?
I remember
I
you
don't
were
remember. I
larger
remember
than you.
you've said it.
Yeah,
but
I
I've
used to
never
be
seen
a
it.
fat, well, not that fat of a man, but I was on the heavy set. You know what? It's not easy to lose weight, but you don't need to put a tube in you.
You just throw up a lot, right?
Yeah, it's as simple as that. You just
The
throw
old
up a
ways
lot.
are the best. Come on.
Yeah. Go to a buffet, eat as much as you want, and then throw up. That's how I did it.
Well, I mean, I guess that's
Basically
sort of,
what this is. Seriously, bulimia is a serious, harmful thing to do to yourself, throwing up after meals.
and just making it
that's basically-
scientific doesn't make it any
It's
better.
Like, is it better to throw up out of the side of your guts rather than out of your mouth? I don't know.
My question would be also, what's the doctor, like, do you have to be doctor approved for this? Because for gastric bypass, don't you have to, like, have a doctor be like, oh, you've
Right.
tried to work out and you failed miserably?
I don't think this is an FDA approved
this
thing.
is just they're back alley doctors.
A patent application has been filed. I don't know if it's been granted yet.
Did you
Yes.
say a 20-minute operation?
Yeah.
That does not sound at all.
Yeah,
healthy.
that sounds like I just cut you open with some scissors and snip your
basically
bag
Jam
up.
a tube into your stomach. Not even just like we're gonna put something like right under your skin, like a one of those. What do you call it when you stop having babies? Birth control. Jesus. Oh God. I am
Stop having
Bottom
need more
line,
coffee.
it will take me longer to get a pizza from Domino's than to get this inserted into myself.
Right.
It- yeah,
In
it jams
fact, you
into your
could order the
stomach,
pizza at the beginning of the surgery and be ready for it in 30 minutes when it gets there. And this is really gross, actually. So this girl had it done. It has been done to people. After every meal, she would uncap her tube, connect a syringe to extract from the stomach, which creates a siphon effect, which permits the subject to freely drain the stomach by allowing the open tube to empty into a bucket.
to a
Science,
bucket.
people. This is
Into a
science.
bucket.
The bigger thing about science when it comes down to science is if you want to lose weight, you know what? You got to eat less. You got to eat less, and you got to move more.
Move around, yeah.
And you know what?
Absolutely.
It's not going to happen overnight. So this is not the way to do it. Anything that makes it happen overnight is not the way to
This
do it.
isn't even overnight because it's still you still are taking in nutrition and you're not, the calories aren't balanced. Well, I mean, I guess fewer calories are coming in, but it's not like a liposuction where they actually take stuff away.
That's true.
It's still going to take friggin'
Yeah,
forever.
it's not about like monitoring your intake and getting some exercise.
To be fair, if this is like $50, then sure, that makes sense. It's reasonable that,
That
you would
makes
jam
even
a straw.
less
So
sense.
price is your main contributing
Here's
factor
a
to whether you're going to get
20-minute
this?
operation. It's going to cost you $50.
You don't have to come in for a checkup or anything. Just hope that things go
If it
well.
starts to smell funny, that's probably normal.
She had to flush it out with water. It's really gross. This woman, who goes nameless in the article for very good reasons, lost 38 kilograms, which is, I don't know, probably 20, 25 pounds. But one of the unintended side effects, and probably the reason she lost the weight, was she found that meat and Chinese food and things like broccoli and cauliflower would get stuck in the tube. So she had to change her eating habits afterwards to
So all
use
she could
the
eat
tube.
were fucking smoothies anyway. Why didn't she just?
Why did she just do that in the first place? But at least now she has a maple spigot coming out of her side.
But this is one person. How many people are doing this?
It says in the article that everyone who has had it installed has lost weight, but it doesn't say how many.
I know. Are
Oh,
they
okay,
figuring-
here it goes. The process has been trialed on 24 clinically obese patients. These are like super fat people. We're not talking about just a few glamour calories, extra pounds.
Did they say how many pounds on average? Kilograms. I'm guessing that.
It says they lost an average of 20 kilograms a year, and
I gotta think you're factoring in the dead people into that. It's like, well, that's 400 pounds. We'll just add that into the mix.
Otology.
Raise your hand if your hearing's been destroyed by Black Sabbath played through your Walkman headphones as a child.
it was more
Don't
like
you lie to me,
No,
Harris.
well, if it was Fish,
pavement.
I would say yes. Black Sabbath, no.
All right, fair enough. There are a lot of people nowadays who
Can fish really hurt your ears? Like, even if you turn it all the way up?
Oh, that's the only way to listen to it all the way up, man. They rock. I mean, Black Sabbath can rock, but Fish knows how to jam. Bro. They're so good.
I forget that. Like rocking, like the sort of point is just to be aggro and to feel the pain.
I just feel like it's so non-aggressive that even at like 1,000,000 decibels, it would be fine.
But, well, with the jamming, you don't notice that it's that loud.
It's a build. It's a build. All of a sudden, then it's like fast. And
it's like putting a frog into water and then it's slowly heating it up.
Yeah.
It doesn't know that its hearing's being destroyed until
exactly.
And then you start over for the 20th verse.
Yeah, a lot of times they'll start a song and I'm like, I don't really like this song that much. And the next thing I know, like
37 minutes later.
37 minutes, I'm like, what song is this? I like this song.
Well, now that the contact highs kicked in, this is the best thing ever.
So is there hope for us?
When I was a little kid, my mom always took pains to make sure that I didn't turn the headphones up too loud, because that's what you want to do, is just keep on cranking it up. And as soon as she could hear it, she's like, no, that's too fucking loud.
That's what my parents
because they're
did
in
too.
your ears. Because we cannot regrow those hairs. You get sound by the little hairs in your ears. They vibrate, and then they tell the nerves, like, that's a sound, and then it translates to your brain. Birds and fish can do it. We can't do it.
We can't
do what?
regenerate.
Mammals can't
regenerate the cilia, right? Is that what they're called? The little bitty hairs?
However, in the January 10th issue of Neuron, didn't even realize it was a magazine, but of course it must be.
I have a subscription to that.
I do have a prescription to
I go to CVS to get it.
They need your ID to make sure, like,
I go to Hyperion Healing.
Yeah, they've managed to regenerate those hair cells in rats. There's a drug that, when you add stem cells to it, they applied a drug to the cochlea of the deaf mice. They got deaf mice because they grow deaf mice.
Now, I want to know how the mice got deaf, because they probably made the deaf mice, right? They probably took some mice and they're like, we need some deaf mice.
Right.
So they turned
brought
up
in
the
Russell
Sabbath.
Simmons, and they're like, let's teach them how to do some deaf poetry, and before you knew it,
DEF mice.
I think this is very important because I don't know how they grow it or however it happens, but I know my ears are gone. For the same reason your mom was yelling at you as a kid, I had the same thing happen. I also remember when podcasts actually first came out, I had a job where I would listen. I had those white headphones that came with the buds, which were the worst as far as sound goes. It was just like, anyway, it was so bad. I remember I would listen to that in my ear like 10 hours a day, and I had a week off and I went home, and I remember being in my room, and it was so quiet there, and all I could hear was ringing
yeah,
in my ears.
I used to, when I was in college in Champaign, Illinois in the 90s, I used to go to live music every weekend and then sit in bed after every show like a fucking idiot and just listen to my ears ringing, which I learned from the movie Children of Men means that frequency is dying in your ears. It's probably the cilia we're talking about. When you hear that ringing sound after trashing your ears at a metal show, or grunge if it was 1992, that is your little ear cilia dying off.
Mm-hmm. What they've done basically is injected stem cells in the air, and they use this drug to inhibit a protein that collects around the little hair cells, and those stem cells are then able to turn into those hair cells that you need to, regenerate. So, I mean, still, we're only helping teeny tiny deaf mice, but someday...
This is basically, they're just like shooting Propecia in people's ears.
Man, why not? Now that we know that we can do that with stem cells, fuck it. Slather them all over your balding head. Surely there's some sort of drug that will, do whatever. Put on a little helmet and
we should just
massage.
Take stem cell baths. Just baths of crushed fetuses. In the future, everyone will look 22 and everyone will take a daily bath in crushed fetuses.
That's like that episode of South Park?
There was, where you would just eat the fetus.
Wasn't there like an Eastern European countess that did that, bathed in the blood of virgins? I mean, that was early stem cell research, granted.
Yes.
But, I mean, she was on the right track.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure she tried a bunch of different...
basic skin care.
Whoever... Basic Eastern European skincare, yeah.
Whatever company is doing this, if they are successful, they will make so much money. Because our generation is going to be the deaf generation.
Oh, yeah, and it's only getting worse.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know.
Mostly due to podcasts.
I don't know if kids are going deaf listening to Kesha.
They're going deaf listening to idiots who don't really know science try to talk about science.
But it doesn't matter what they're listening to. It's the volume that they're listening to.
Do you ever, I know that I'm an old man now in my 30s. Sometimes I'm on the bus and I see somebody with earbuds on and I can hear their music from 3 seats away. And I'm like, son, you're going to hurt yourself. Why do you have to listen to Snoop Dogg that loud? I can hear the song you're listening to.
I feel the same way, and then I put my earbuds in, and I'm sure it's just as loud.
Drown them out.
Ento-Robotology.
There's a lot of talk about uncanny valleys when it comes to androids and whatnot. This goes right past it, just into the creepy valley. Chan here with Chacho and guest Harrison Brown. They're looking to make a faster robot. You know, you've got those robots, they're trying to get them to climb up stairs and whatnot like that. And, you know, so different varieties of robot. They're trying to make a robot that goes fast. So what they have is a little cardboard hexapod cockroach. Can run at 2.7 meters per second. The thing's only like 3 or 4 inches long. And what's the best way to make a robot run fast? Shape it like a cockroach. The little thing looks like a cockroach, runs like a cockroach. They designed the legs similar to a cockroach. They're like little C's. So when they, hit, they sort of bounce and then spring back. Mm-hmm. And there's always 3 legs on the ground at any one time, so it's got stability, and it flies like a mother. It goes,
You
26
don't mean
times the
they
length of
actually
its...
fly, right?
No.
It runs really fast.
It runs like a cockroach. If you've ever turned on a light in a kitchen and a cockroach has come running straight at you and you scream like a little girl and jumped onto a chair like I have, then you'll know how terrifying this is. You can find the video over at New
Which begs
Scientist.
the question, do we need tiny cardboard cockroaches that run really fast?
As buff as I am, and as big as my muffles are.
You got mufflers for arms, dude. Those are huge.
As big as my muscles are, I am not a fast runner. I'm not comfortable the fact that people can outrun me. And now that I have to worry about fucking robots being faster than me, I'm not happy about this at all.
Of course, the first comment on this thing was like, oh yeah, what happens when they give them little hypodermic needles with poisons and then release a whole bunch of them into like a room full of people? What's going to happen then?
Who would do that?
Crazy
what
people.
Psycho, except a commenter on newscientist.com, would think of putting poison needles on robot cockroaches.
To be fair, a commenter on any website.
Also, this world is filled up with crazy people.
Right? There are people who will shoot up schools. Surely there's one super crazy dude that's like, nah, guns are for sissies. I'm going to fill this little cockroach robot with rice and...
vast cockroach army of poison needle robots.
Oh, surely there's some kid in a trench coat somewhere that's like, man, I'm going to take care of that football team.
One of these days.
I think the other thing you could do with these cockroaches is you could transport drugs.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Tiny amounts of drugs.
Teeny tiny amounts
Could
of drugs.
you train them to run around your house and just stick you with a little bit?
Now we're getting somewhere.
A little bit of Vicodin every 2 hours.
Yeah.
Get over your fear of cockroaches right quick. Something skirting up towards me. Oh, that's nice.
That's my robot.
This put Roomba to shame.
They were talking about, since they're very small and cardboard, you can step on them and squash them, but they were talking about making an unsquashable cockroach robot so you can step on them and they will pop back up into shape.
It's a fun area, though, because I always like seeing technology try to mimic nature. Like, you've had fucking 3 billion years to figure this out. Why not just learn a few things from you? Mm-hmm. Also, just, we're not talking about big robots or things that look like humans or giant tanks or anything like that.
Or things that have any use whatsoever.
Man, there are a million household uses for this. Upskirt photos, that's just a booming industry once this happens. It's going to be a little tough because obviously if something comes skittering up at you and you're wearing a skirt, your first instinct is to run and or stomp on it.
How strong are these? Because they said they could lift
4 times their body
4 times
weight.
their weight.
But
that's
also,
about the same as I can do.
Well, this is a little cardboard robot, so I think it probably weighs like half an ounce. So if you can lift more than 2 ounces, then yes.
What I'm most afraid about is now that we have this, does that mean we're going to have a remake of Joe's Apartment? With Jerry O'Connell?
I feel like that's the thing that inspired this in the first place.
Very
it's
true.
like, man, I wish I could have that, what that shitty 90s MTV movie gave us.
I don't know if that's going to happen, but they do all have the voice of Gilbert Gottfried.
It's time for a quiz.
It's time for a quiz. We're here with Quizmaster Liz. How you doing, Liz?
What up, guys?
You got some questions for us, Liz?
Yes, I do.
Let's do it.
All right, question number 1. Knoll, also known as KNOL, is A text message shorthand to describe know that I'm not online. B, the term for a website set up by a person in order to share their expert knowledge on a subject, but on which the author disallows contradictions or questions. Or is it C, a computer programming language designed to allow programming to be an easier craft to learn?
This is tough.
I have a degree in computer programming. I should probably know this.
What's the answer?
The answer is B, a website set up for people who want to share their knowledge but want no questions, comments, or contradictions.
I do know it, is what I meant to say, because I got it right.
I got it wrong.
I got it wrong. I thought the same thing.
I literally had no idea.
I had never heard that term before.
Yeah.
It's kind of a guess.
First when you said Noel, I was like, oh, this is going to be a question about Oasis. Noel Gallagher. Wasn't.
I was thinking Harry Knowles. I was thinking, cool. I got this on lockdown.
It was about the grassy knoll and the second shooter. All right.
All right, next question. A bendy chip is a circuit made of nano-sized silicone ribbon elements bonded to rubber. This allows the chip to be A, considered for use in the human body, B, wound into cloth or other flexible materials, or both A and B.
What's the answer?
The answer is both A and B.
Yeah! I am
we all got
on board.
Always pick all of the above.
Yep. Always go with C.
That made sense, though. It made sense why you'd pick all of the above.
Yeah.
Bendy chick.
It bends. Why not? Next question.
I threw some easy ones in here. All right. Number 3. VSR stands for A, very special relativity, a theory that challenges the idea that the laws of physics are consistent. B, very strong radio, a set of radio frequencies detected by instruments in the Hubble Space Telescope. Or C, very slight radiation, a consumer protection label proposed for tagging home appliances that give off small amounts of radiation.
I think I have a answer.
What is it, Liz?
The answer is A, a very special relativity.
I did not get that one.
I didn't either. We all had different answers. Chan got it right.
Yeah, because I remember reading about that and thinking and having my mind minorly blown. Like knowing
What's very special relativity?
That's just what happens. It's like as things get crazier, the further down you get, physicists just kind of throw their
general
hands
relativity, special relativity, and very special relativity.
Yeah, basically like, all those rules aren't working. How about this?
Yeah.
Let's just say that some other things happen.
The good thing is when you're classified that type of relativity, you get to go to school on a short yellow bus.
A very special yellow bus. To be fair, I think there's probably more than one physicist who's just gone batshit crazy from all the weirdness down at the quantum level and just lock them in
Never
the
come
rooms.
back.
Nope,
We
nope.
sent them to Mars. All right, number 4.
Right. True or false? Future proof is a term scientists use to designate a theory that has yet to amass a significant amount of supporting evidence, but, they expect it will one day.
Is it true or false?
It is false. It's a term for technology that is incapable of becoming obsolete. Whether or not this is a possibility, only time will tell.
Dang, tricked me.
Last question.
There's no way I can win.
All right, last question. How do you neutralize the radioactivity of a substance? Do you A, incinerate the material? B, run a high voltage current through the material? Or C, it can't be done?
Well, I know it's not A because I've seen Return of the Living Dead, and if you incinerate it, then they'll just more zombies will show up.
Well, if it's not A, I got this one wrong.
What is the answer, Liz?
The answer is C. It can't be done.
Dang it!
Time. All radioactive substances will decay until they're no longer radioactive. Unfortunately, there's nothing that we can do to speed up that process.
Not yet.
But it's not over yet.
No,
Harrison.
this is...
What?
Never fear. We have 5 more questions coming in the next episode. So, yeah, where does it stand after the first 5?
It is now Chan's got 4, Chacho's got 3, Harrison's got 1, but there's 5 more coming, so you could still take it, man.
All right.
Anybody's trivia game.
Liz, where can they find you online?
You can find me on Twitter at 24starfleets or on Facebook at chupamotherflippingcabra.com.
Cool. Thanks
All
very
right.
much. We'll see you in a few days.
Thanks.
Correspondent Jessica Lee.
We're here with special guest correspondent Jessica Lee, Chan Chacho, and Harrison Brown. How you doing, Jess?
Hey guys, I'm great. How are you?
We are wonderful.
Pancake-tastic.
We've all been pumping some iron,
Yeah.
getting buffing up, lifting
Yeah.
some weights.
Getting our sweat on,
I
you
was
know.
gonna say,
Juicing it.
if I were ever forced something, it would be with Chan, Chachi, and Harrison, obviously.
Yeah.
Clearly. And the opportunity is open. Anytime.
Pretty
you
much
want.
anytime. Just give us a call. We're in
The
it.
doors are unlocked.
What do you got for us?
Oh gosh, there is this concrete that they're developing in the Netherlands that is self-healing.
Self-healing concrete.
It's crazy to me. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't sound like that big a deal right off the bat, but what they do is they've actually found a way to add these living organisms, these kind of
Whoa.
bacteria to concrete.
Okay, no. You
So
said
this is living concrete?
you said self-healing concrete. I'm like, okay, you like bash it and there's a crack and it sort of like seals back up. I did not in my wildest dreams think that we were bonding concrete to friggin' bacteria.
Yeah, it's crazy. So bacteria are the one that actually release the calcite that repair the cracks.
So it's like living coral?
I guess in a way, but the thing is, and this is the crazy part, is that us humans and as scientists, we have to find a way to feed the bacteria that live inside the concrete.
We have to feed the sidewalk? This is turning into a goddamn Shel Silverstein poem.
What's stopping the sidewalks from just growing and taking over the entire city?
And consuming the people that walk on it.
That's where we're going, guys. That's crazy that this shit is alive right now.
What are you guys doing after lunch today? Oh, I gotta go feed the sidewalk.
I didn't walk it all afternoon. It's got to be
Yeah.
really antsy.
This may be the thing that finally gets me to buy a car.
But
Because
here's
I don't
the
want to have
thing.
to fucking walk anywhere.
I don't
anymore.
want any more responsibilities. It's like if you go, it's like having a dog. All of a sudden, you get a dog,
feed the
and you
dog,
got to
water the tank for a walk.
You go to a town. Who's going to feed the dog? If you go to a town, who's going to feed the cement?
Everybody in LA goes out of town. Who's going to feed our sidewalks?
Right, you're going to come back, it's just going to be a wreck.
On the
Or
flip
dead.
side, if there's an earthquake here, forget about construction repair. Am I right? These roads will grow back.
I'm concerned, though, that they'll need sustenance to grow back, and they will start eating people, though.
That's true.
What
Like-
do they eat, Jess?
Do you have to have, like, special
They-
concrete snacks for them? Like little doggy snacks?
Oh, there's a good concrete. Have a treat.
Do we have to take
Things
them
like
up
that.
for frozen yogurt?
Wait, I didn't hear you. What did you say?
They basically stuff like In-N-Out, Del Taco, you know,
Yeah,
just like
yeah, that
normal
makes
stuff.
sense.
Stoner
Yeah.
food, really.
Normal sidewalk.
Fritos.
Fair.
Yeah.
Could they just live on
Um,
the garbage that it drops on every sidewalk
Ooh,
in
can
LA?
they live off of gum?
That would be really smart. No, actually, what they do is scientists are also having to develop these capsules of food that are basically kind of like a milk. So that's what feeds the concrete, the bacteria in the concrete, and that's what they can feed on to repair themselves. And then they can process that like milk type microcapsule and secrete calcium.
Oh,
do they
boy.
know when there's a crack and they automatically fix it, or do you have to kind of like put the milk in the crack so that they come in?
Well, they need to feed. They
They
always
grow.
need to be feeding themselves. But I just
They
think
always
something
need to
when
be
they have-
feeding. You never want to hear that in a story about new technology. Oh, I'm sorry. There are a lot of creepy ass things that I acknowledge are creepy ass things, that I think are fascinating. All sorts of weird bacterial things that we're doing, all sorts of strange nano creatures that we're creating, like that cockroach robot. I think that's a fantastic idea. This thing fucking weirds me out. I am not at all on board with this.
Chan is flipping over tables at the moment.
You know why? Because this table won't try to eat me at any point, so I feel secure and safe that I can do that. If I walk out on that street, I gotta be nice to it, because I don't know when it's gonna fucking turn on me.
Now he's frantically doing bicep curls just to get rid of the
I'm gonna be beat
energy.
by that goddamn concrete. I'll be ready to fight it when the time comes.
I wonder if this is a secret way to get rid of the homeless population.
Oh my god!
They sit down to rest on the side of the road and they just kind of melt into the sidewalk. I'm not saying I'm for it. I'm just saying that's what's happening here.
This is the worst thing you have ever brought to us, Jessica. I hope you're satisfied.
This is worse than Super AIDS.
I take that back. This is the second worst thing you've brought us, Jessica. I hope you're satisfied. How far away are they from actually implementing this?
I think they've got a couple years of testing. The big thing is that they have to figure out how to make the food survive the mixing process. That actually seems to be the big thing they're working on right now. Not only that,
they need their food live.
They're taste
like
testing.
a friggin' snake or a
Different
cobra.
recipes, basically.
They don't eat it dead. Oh, so they're going to be toying with us as they devour us.
We're all going to die.
Nothing
That's
good.
basically it. And then they said they're going to need at least 2 years. They'll probably have to build some test structures and monitor the living concrete for a couple years before it can actually be sold commercially. So it is a while away, but I bet before 2020, this will be sold in Home Depot.
Nope,
That's my prediction.
Nope. Oh, is that the problem then? They're concerned about too many people hanging out outside looking for work, so they just put a little bit of concrete there in
laborers.
Home Depot, and all of a sudden, no more day laborers.
You guys just install this, por favor.
That's something the Tea Party could do, right?
That seems like something very Tea Party.
I would be happy to feed them Tea Party activists.
Yeah, that's also very true.
Thanks for the report, Jay Lee. Where can people find you?
You can find me at J Lee Rules.
At Jay Lee Rules on Twitter.
RULES?
S or Z?
S. It's the spell the good American proper way.
Fair enough.
All right. Talk to you soon. Thanks a lot.
Thanks,
Bye,
Jessica.
guys.
Bye-bye.
But that's our show.
And that's our show. Thank you very much to Harrison Brown.
Oh, thank you guys for having me. It was a great time.
The muscle-bound musclehead.
Yeah, the next time you'll see me, I'll be throwing you up into the air.
Instead of just bench pressing me like you are right now.
Exactly.
You are. That tickles a little.
We were going to go ride the bus to a show, but Harrison has offered to carry us on his broad shoulders there.
Yep. And I'll do it much faster than the bus.
We'll zip past 3 or 4 buses.
Yep.
So, any shows to plug coming up soon?
Just always the UCB cage match every Wednesday night at the UCB Theater in Los Angeles. Also, if you guys are up in San Francisco, I'll be at the San Francisco Sketch Fest Saturday, January 26th for the midnight show, and Drew Carey, I'll be opening up for that show. There's a show, I think, at 8 and 10:30 that night.
You're doing the hype
Nice.
man.
I'm doing the hype man, getting everybody warmed up,
Yeah,
explaining
boy.
what you will see, and then I talk nonsense for about 8 minutes.
Wait, but you have to explain sketch to people who are at the Sketch Fest?
Well, there I don't think I'll have to be as heavy about it. Yeah, there I'll do a lot more running around and a lot more yelling in people's faces.
That is a great show, though. If you're up in San Francisco, check it out. A few of our past guests are also in it.
Online?
Online, you can find me on Facebook at Harrison Brown, also on Twitter at Brownie, although I don't really use it. And UCBcagematch.com as well.
Cool. You can find us at ScienceJerks.com,
Email us, davidsciencejerks.com, chan@sciencejerks.com.
Twitter at The Science Jerks, Facebook, The Science
The
Jerks.
Science Jerks. Oh, also, we should be on Stitcher pretty soon.
Yay.
Probably by the time this comes out. Check us out on Stitcher.
So if any of you weirdos are on Android, welcome.
Welcome,
I have
weirdos.
Stitcher on my iPad.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you can do it on iPad.
Do you not use
iPhone.
the podcast app?
Well, I use Stitcher to stream radio. Like, there's a station out of Minneapolis I like in Seattle, and then KXLU out of here. I'll stream, and it's just nice. I can't go to the websites, but it's nice to have it just right there and go click, click, click.
Yeah.
Cool. Subscribe to us on iTunes and
Leave them
leave
reviews.
us a review if you like. Even if you think we're a bunch of jerks, We want to hear about it. And I'm at Dave Chacho.
I'm at 999 RPMs.
And we're at the end of the show. Thanks for listening.
Yay! Thank you. If I ever run for public office, that's going to be one of my stances. Bringing back the metric system.
Oh, so you don't want to get elected?
Exactly.
Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha.
You mean we got to learn how to multiply by 10?